Are you still going out with the girl that I met a couple years ago?
Probably twice removed since then. Probably
2 more girls.
Yeah. And now I'm with someone. We just had a daughter.
Oh, you got a baby?
Yeah, dude.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
man.
thanks, man. I appreciate it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Boy, girl?
Daughter. She's 5.5, 6 weeks.
Oh my God, fresh.
She's as fresh as it gets. She was born on my oldest son's birthday, so I didn't know
Oh,
how he was gonna.
what?
I know, I didn't know. Birthday twins. I didn't know how he was gonna handle it, but he handled it like a champ, and very grateful the fact because I thought he was gonna be pissed that he was gonna have to share a birthday.
It's a weird dynamic, right? There's probably no gray area. It's like I'm really excited that happened, or fuck you, I'm not excited.
He's in this stage, right? Yeah, he's 11, and he's also very much trying to kind of like carve his own path, and he's got a lot of good things going for him. And sometimes I don't want to say he's selfish, but I could see he gets very like myopic about his own thing. Mm-hmm. But when he heard that his sister was going to be born, and it's his half sister too, so there's that kind of dynamic too. He was pleasantly surprised, which gave me a big sigh of relief because I thought he was going to be a little bit more upset about it. So
okay,
yeah.
Well, you know, tis is the thing that builds you, right?
Yeah.
These are the things that build your character, and so the great American family.
That's true. The nuclear kind of like, and then the blended family nowadays.
Yeah,
and,
man. My my granddad had just really a second life of family. Not at the same time. Like he married a girl that was 20 years younger than him after my grandmother, and had another set of kids. And one of them was a little bit younger than my older sister, so 2.5, 3 years older than me, and the other one was 3 or 4 years younger than me. Okay. So I have aunts that are younger than me. So
which is kind of cool.
Yeah. But that's kind of the American family.
That's it. As long as they're supportive and they're kind and they're there in your life to some degree and they're good people,
Well, that's the thing, and I say that it's like it builds a character. I don't know. Some people, if you take it, embrace it. You know, it's really mentality, right?
Everything's mentality.
It's what the way you look at it and the way you perceive it.
Yep. Mentality's moment to moment too. You could have a great attitude 1 second, and then the next second you want to fight the world.
You're telling me.
So it just depends on when you catch someone.
Yeah, and you can control it, but sometimes it's hard to control, right?
Yeah, you gotta have some things in place to kind of have guardrails. I think some sort of practices, if you're into moving your body or de-stressing things. I mean, you have to have something to kind of take the weight off, because the world's a son of a bitch, dude.
Sure.
And it'll push you.
It will chew you up and spit you out if you're not ready to work with it.
Yeah.
Look, it's the things, right? It's the things that build us. It's the the old saying, what doesn't break us, what's the saying?
Doesn't kill you, makes you
doesn't
stronger.
kill you, but it's stronger. I mean, that's just like it's true.
Tough people last, tough times don't, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course. Yeah. So it's been a while since we hung out. So I'm glad you're back here.
It's my pleasure.
This is awesome, and you've had a bunch of cool stuff happening. So you had a child 5 weeks ago. So that's cool. So tell me about So the last time I talked to you, you had switched from your position and entrepreneurship and gone into corporate again.
Yeah.
So tell me about that journey from entrepreneurship back to corporate, and then now we'll get into
freedom again.
Yeah, we'll get into the to the book, and you can explain how that developed.
It's just been a long time coming. I had been really fear motivated over the last few years, because we live in a world that's very materialistic and very performance-based, and those things can be good, but at the end of the day, it's not why I'm personally here. And so for me to fit into that world demands a few things, and the things it demands are not in alignment with what I want to do with the rest of my life. And so, as you alluded to, being in business for about 11, 12 years as a financial planner, that was an old version of someone who no longer existed based on the things that I had done over the years. And I just felt very stuck, depressed, not happy with where my life was, like wearing a mask of happiness on the outside and being, friendly and happy, but in the inside, I wanted to fucking burn the world down.
Sure.
I really did. And not to anyone personally or anything personally, like no issues with anything, but I just didn't like the way the world was going, and I didn't like how I fit into it. And so, as you know, and as we've talked about through the years, my experience a lot of times has been through different kinds of natural tools, from breath work to psychedelics and everything in between. And the more I went down that path, the more I realized that the regular world wasn't for me. And so that puts me in an awkward position of, I live in this world, I have to provide for a family, I have to, you know, get along and like show up. And really all I wanted to do was like sometimes either curl up in a ball and just not come out of my house, which I did for a while, or go off the grid, which is still very attractive.
Of course.
But in a really fun way, you know, like go live in nature, near the ocean, do some like stuff around the ocean. Be
But
like
unfortunately,
a water
you have to
keeper.
have money to do that.
It does, you know, you do have to have money. And that's something that it took me a while to get my head around, because I had a limiting belief growing up in poverty around money. And I always projected my beliefs onto the system and other people. And so for me, over the last, you know, few years, I had to go through some really hard times to come to where I am now, like everybody else, right?
Sure.
Like we were just talking about what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And it sucks because when you're in the middle of it, you don't want to hear that, and you don't want to tout that. You don't want to, you know, carry that badge. But for me, I just had to really kind of take in everything that I had done from these ayahuasca ceremonies, these traveling, you know, retreats that, you know, I was a part of or that I hosted, and I had to take all that information and actually apply it. And that was a hard couple of years. It took a couple of years to go through that.
Well, you had just started this, you know, really kind of after we met, the journey of ayahuasca and mushrooms and plant-based type hallucinogenic medicine. So hasn't been a long-term thing for you. This has been about 4 years, right?
About right at 5. Yeah, but close.
You know, it's still new to you.
Still getting my footing with it. Still healing through it, yeah.
But so cool. So okay, so you went back into corporate and you're like, dude, this is not what I want.
Yeah, it was hard, man, because the person that I once was, that I, you know, back in our day when we come from that industry of sales and entrepreneurship and going door to door, I just wasn't that guy anymore. Like, like there's a part of me that could still do it, but like doing it just wasn't in my nature anymore. And so I had to learn how to not be that person anymore. I had to learn how to not rely on old ways to get me through. And I had to really just kind of go from scratch and learn how to be a new version of myself, the most authentic I could.
What does that look like?
So I don't know if you know, back in 2021, a couple friends and I co-hosted and facilitated a retreat in North Georgia where we had 20 people come in.
I remember this, yep.
And those people left forever changed. I still hear from them pretty regularly. And when I was in that space of watching these people, I'll just give you for an instance, and this is why this is important for everyone listening, is because there's no separation between anyone in this world. And we put up these ideas of separation because it's just something that keeps us comfortable. But one of the exercises we did, which was drug-free, it was no big event, it was called Step Forward. Step Forward had 20 people around the circular room, all at the edges of the room, and this girl stood in the middle, and she's like, if you've ever been abused, take one step forward. If you've ever been bullied, take one step forward. If you've ever been ... take one step forward.
Right.
By the 10 questions, everybody's huddled together, pretty much crying, because we realize that we're all the same. We all want, you know, things in our lives that make us happy. We want people to be happy. We want to be healthy. We want to be loved, like core basic security needs. And in those moments of that weekend, I realized that my job was to help not only myself with those types of experiences, but show other people these experiences too.
Sure.
And so then it became a mission of how do I get to doing that full time, where I can take people free of charge. I don't even want to charge people around the world to do breath work, to do sweat lodges, to do all these things that really are initiations into what matters, which is at the end of our life, God, whatever you believe in, these things, your soul's going to be thankful that you did these things.
Sure.
You know? So that's kind of where my heart went. And that was something that I was able to kind of, through years since, you know, we connected and we've done our thing on podcasting and everything, I was able to get to that point really kind of fairly recently.
Right.
It's been a while.
Okay, so you stayed working for the what's it, the payroll company?
So I went to a company called iSolved, which is payroll, and then I left iSolved to go to Allianz, and Allianz was trade credit, so basically insuring your accounts receivables.
Right.
And then so after about 3 years of those two companies, I was just done. Like I couldn't be in corporate anymore. I just felt like a fraud, and I felt like I was lying to people.
Sure.
Yeah.
What is so you left corporate how long ago?
Oh boy. June of last year, the middle of June of last year was when I had I walked away from corporate.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what have you been doing since then, monetarily, for money?
Yeah.
I mean, really?
So I realized that I needed to stop being, and there was a huge event that happened that kind of threw me off this path that I was going on. Someone that was near and dear to my heart, someone I loved the most, someone I trusted the most, really violated me in a deep, vulnerable place, and it really threw me into like this fear-based place that I was in for a couple of years. And I got away from doing the plant medicines. I got away from being in that community. I got away from really the stepping into what I was supposed to be doing. I just completely like got derailed.
So, but for the listeners, when you say violated, are you like disloyal? Was it cheating on something?
No, it was.
You don't have to get specific.
No. In the book, I talk about it, but I change names and locations because it's my personal experience, but I'm not trying to cast.
Of course, I got
blame or.
But you still have to heal from it.
I do, and so long story short, I was invited to a retreat like we've done, small, 4 people, working with mushrooms, doing mushrooms, going deep in a very intentional way. We're not like partying, like we're sitting there like sometimes experiencing God firsthand. It's wild. And in that expanded vulnerable state, this person that was, I thought, like one of my soulmates, someone I was very close to, another gentleman, looked at me and basically said, this is where we have to let go of a brother. And I'm in the deepest I've ever been, and I don't know if you've ever done psychedelics, mushrooms, but you go into these expanded states where you're pretty much in other realms. And for me, I can't even like tie my shoe in those positions because my mind's being rewired. I'm having these God moments, and I look at it, and I didn't even know what to say. I'm like did I hear him correctly?
Was it out of the blue? He said, "This is where we have to let go of a brother."
Yeah, I was like, what?
What did he mean by it?
Basically, what his intention was the idea of the whole experience was being kicked out of a group I never even asked to belong to. So out of these group of folks, there was the one person that I had been very close with. And then he brought his friends.
Right.
And I was just wanting to, I thought I found like a soulmate in the version of like a friend.
Right.
And when I got to that place after we hung out for a couple of years and had a bunch of experiences and led retreats and traveled different parts of the world, I got to this place where, I fully trusted this person. And more than I've ever trusted anyone. And I don't know if it was a long time coming, if something just changed in our dynamic, but like we never had an argument, a disagreement, or anything. So it was blindsided, to say the least. And in this moment, in this place on the West Coast, very cold, very snowy on a Sunday, I was basically said, we don't want you in the group anymore. There was a lot of the things that happened from there too that were very humiliating. And I just strapped on my shoes, and in my mind, I had Grayson and William come into my mind, my sons. And in my mind, I was like, how could you do this to them? Like, you've met them, you know them, we've treated you like family, like that they need their dad, because at this time they were really young. And I was like, I can't die right now. Because I thought at one point, when you're on psychedelics, if you're not in a good space, you can really go down trails that are very, very hard. And I thought they actually poisoned me at that point. And I was like, fuck, maybe I'm dying right now. So like I went into a really bad headspace. But
do you think it was in the trip? In the moment, or I mean, because it's hard. Look, I've done psychedelics, so it's hard to decipher between my mind thinking that they're doing that or it actually was planned to do it.
Yeah,
and you might not ever know the truth to that.
The things that were said were very indicative. Yeah, the things that were said were very indicative. Like, we tell you what you want to hear. Like at one point, I was asked to play a harmonica. I've never played a harmonica in my life. And never under a psychedelic setting.
Right.
And I went to put that thing up to my face and make a few retarded noises, excuse my language, and couldn't do it. And then like I was like, I don't even know what this is supposed to sound like. That's the only thing I could mutter because I was such in a state of shock still. And one of them laughs. He's like, and it just was like it was a mocking thing. It felt, and I looked into this afterwards. A lot of people in spiritual community, and like I went down the road of like, is this dude like into black magic? Like, did they fucking do some weird shit to me? I don't know what the intention was. I just know it wasn't in my best interest, and from someone who always had my best interest in heart.
Right.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's when somebody does that, it would be more like I'm doing this for a party drug, and I'm doing it to have fun in my time in this, and I don't care about that person's time.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I'm sorry that happened. But again. Yeah, the life.
It brought me to where I am today, and I needed that in a weird way to whether that person was releasing something, whether that person always had this up their sleeve to be this deceptive.
Sure.
It's not up for me to decide. It's just a story at this point that I would be creating because I'll never know.
Right.
Try reaching out to the person afterwards and no insights gained, no like a little bit of gaslighting. Like it was really interesting.
That is wild,
man. It's nuts. It's in the book. It's called The Ceremony of Goodbye, and everything is spelled out on exactly what happens.
Yeah.
But long story short, that really in the middle of this like identity crisis and shifting away from corporate America and trying to figure out how do I do what I want to do full time, that just really threw a wrench in that system. So went through a very dark time, which opened up a lot of beautiful things. I got back into drawing and painting, but like my paintings were like Chucky and Michael Myers. Like I was like the darkness was coming out on page.
On paper.
But that's okay because it's like artist therapy. And so I was doing certain things to try to get through it, but also kind of haphazardly at the time. I was still drinking, which wasn't helping, and I haven't drank in a while now, but I wasn't doing the right things. All the tools that I had learned on my own journey experience, I wasn't really implementing them to help me through that experience until probably about a year ago. And then I started kind of healing from it and making peace with it and realizing, and I kind of had PTSD from it, I'll be honest, for a while, and like trusting people and like making new friends. I was just like, fuck people. I don't want to be around people right now. But what came from that was a couple things. So the book, but beyond the book is just a tool. It's just a key. What came from that was Awakened Hearts. And I opened up a 501c3 nonprofit that helps people with addiction, mental health, anxiety, depression, shit that I was experiencing, feeling with some of these tools, whether it's, breath work all the way to psychedelics and in between, in the right settings, with the right care, with the right people, to be able to help them go through their experiences as well. So the Awakened Hearts movement was definitely inspired and crystallized from that pain, I would say. And then the book kind of came from that, and that kind of brings it all together. So a lot of beauty came from it.
Cool.
Yeah.
And tell me, so I'll show the book, but from heroin to healer.
Yeah.
So what the book title? Tell me how you came up with the
Used
book
to do
title.
heroin.
And
my dad did it for
sure.
like 30 years. My dad did heroin for 30 years. He was a high school hometown hero. Chapter 5 is called The Ghost of Eastie, and a lot of people knew my dad, and a lot of people there was two versions of my dad. There was the hometown hero that like shoulda, coulda, woulda, and then there was the junkie on the corner saying, hey, can I get a cigarette? Can I get a couple bucks? And I had to live with both of those because I went to the same high school, and a lot of the same people were still there as teachers, as faculty, and some of them would rib you and play with you, like, oh, you're not as fast as your dad, as good as your dad, that's fine. But then there's like the kids growing up that were super terrible, and like, oh, you're a fucking loser, your dad's a junkie. It's like, you know, you're a kid, you don't want to hear that. So I think that that was something that, growing up was intense. And then I was completely against drugs till I was about 18, 19. Played sports, chased girls, but never actually cared about drugs. And then one summer came along, it was like the summer of ecstasy, and it opened me up to like everything.
Sure.
And it was fun and playful, and everyone was happy. And then within like a year, everybody had moved to pills, and like then everybody's staying in, and no one's coming out anymore. And people are like, they're getting high, and it's like basically like they're doing heroin. And eventually, a lot of people did move to heroin in my community. A lot of people in East Boston, if you ever go up there's a huge hotbed of like opiate use, and specifically heroin. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's it's just the way it is. And so I let myself fall into that trap.
Well, heroin made a big jump during the opioid crisis because the pills were expensive, and you could get heroin for cheaper,
like nothing. Yeah.
So when people needed their fix because they couldn't get those oxys and all those, that
was my path.
They would go toward the heroin. I know I'd read an article about it one time online that the heroin sales had jumped up in the midst of all that because you can't afford the other ones.
I believe it. Yeah, and heroin's a hell of a drug, dude. It's like an 80 milligram oxy is essentially like a $40 bag of heroin in a pill. Like, I've had experience with both.
Sure.
And so you have these big pharma companies pushing heroin in a pill as legal. It's okay. It's regulated. But not only
legal, it's also you get a lifetime immunity pass.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
I don't even know what that is.
What they can't get prosecuted.
Oh, but like the Sackler family, $8 billion. Like
all of them.
Yeah.
They have an immunity to prosecution.
Yeah, it's incredible because they're sending money the right way. Like they're sending money to the right people. they're lobbying the right
Some
way.
might say the wrong way.
Well, yeah, at the end of the day, it's sad, and that's one of the things, maybe I can make a dent in through my life is like, helping people return to more natural healing ways.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, like, I had done heroin. The last time I had done heroin was, I think, 2006, if I'm correct. 2006. I shot up one time coming down from Boston, took a 30-hour Greyhound to Atlanta, or really Ackworth, Georgia.
What a trip.
Dude, it was nuts. And it was nuts.
Trip.
It was nuts.
30 hours.
It's in the book, dude. It's all that, everything I'm saying is in the book, and it's really just an idea of, I've gone from this place many years ago with the heroin, and I really haven't had any addiction issues since then, but I've gone from a place of doing heroin to being able to learn how to heal myself and then guide other people to do the same thing.
Right.
And that's kind of the mentality of the book, is if you've been somewhere and you feel like you're stuck, you're trapped, or you want to even, if you're maybe not even at that place, but you want to just do better in life. You want to be a better dad. You want to be a better spouse. You want to be a better business person. Even if I took someone up in Kennesaw Mountain for an hour and just hung out with them and did a little breath work with them, they'd never be the same.
Right.
And it's like these little things that we have access to, but then it's like, okay, you never hear about them because it's not what makes money. And if you cure someone of an issue of anxiety, depression, there's no money down the road, so you're losing a future customer.
Of course.
That's why, like, a lot of these companies, you see it now, we've talked about this years ago, there's many places right now that are trying to bring mushrooms online and MDMA online and ketamine clinics. Like, all these things are popping up for a reason, because they're trying to figure out how can they commoditize, how can they regulate, and eventually they're going to end up stripping these things of the properties that actually help people.
Sure. But there's always other countries.
Yeah, you got other countries. Yeah.
Now, I've done a decent amount of research, YouTube research is what I call it.
Yeah,
but
that's cool.
on Ibogaine.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So
oh, yeah.
I've from my research and listening to the Rogan podcast and every other podcast that I'll listen to on that, is it really, really good for PTSD, and I don't know if do you have experience with Ibogaine?
Ibogaine, no, other than hearing about it and knowing about it, and I know it's very powerful. I know that a lot of people that have done it have come back, and that's the same thing too. Like there's studies that show that people that do mushrooms one time in a clinical therapeutic setting have like an 80% decrease in depression, and it lasts for a year or more.
Right.
So it's like these things do work. It's just a matter of who you go to, how you do it, the set and setting, like your mindset, being in a safe setting, going with people that know what they're doing that you can trust. Like that's a huge part of this.
Yeah.
But Ibogaine's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. They so I found it very refreshing because I watched the Rogan. I mean, it had been 2 years ago with the ex-governor and the attorney, the lobbyist attorney for and turned lobbyist for Ibogaine. But like
the
that
guy, is it Rick Perry? Is from Texas.
Rick Perry is the governor.
Yeah, and then there was one other person.
And then the mouthpiece was the lawyer. It looks like Zach Galifianakis a little bit. He does. Pull that up. Pull the Ibogaine.
Is Scott like your Jamie? Can we get Scott to like, hey, pull that up, Scott? Can we?
Yeah, we can. Okay. Yeah, we do it.
It's good to see Scott again.
But Scott's just a way better name than Jamie. I'm just
Scott's
sorry.
Just the dude.
Sorry.
Rick Perry and Brian Hubbard.
Yeah. So they got it approved through Texas like a month ago.
Yeah, dude.
That's insane.
Do you know what's wild?
Right. This is Texas.
Do you know what's wild?
This is like Georgia, like a Bible Belt. They doesn't do that. So that's refreshing.
This is crazy. So I've been talking to.
I just want to show the picture because he does look like Zach Galifianakis.
Yes, Zach's lost some weight too. He's looking good.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Oh yeah, you see him.
Yeah.
Love this guy.
Yes, does he not?
And he's jacked too. Look at him. He's like
he's jacked,
popping out of his shirt.
He's jacked, but the way he speaks is
very
robotic.
Yeah. He doesn't look the way he speaks.
No.
He has like a southern drawl, I believe, but he speaks in this. He's just the way he's very. And this has nothing to do if you have a southern drawl or not. But he's very articulate. He's very educated in his responses. The way he speaks is not the way he looks. You think this guy's Thor, like the way you look at him.
Yeah, for sure.
The
bad cartoon Thor too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So powerful. Look at 1.5 million. I thought I said 20, but that's his subscribers. But
I'm telling you though that this was, I think, it wasn't the first time I'd heard of Ibogaine.
Ibogaine's insane.
But it was the first real look into the history of Ibogaine and stuff. So I was out, and how long ago was this? That was not 7 months ago.
I know, right?
I felt like
feel
that was
way
way
longer, but I
longer
guess
than
not. I took some AG1 today. Okay, so real quick about the Ibogaine.
Mm-hmm.
Ibogaine is extremely powerful, and it's an intense experience. And I think
It's a long experience too, right? It's 8 to 24 hours.
It's a long,
Yeah.
and you definitely want to get people that know what they're doing. You don't want to just go over your friend Tim's house like, let's not go somewhere. And the same thing for like ayahuasca. Don't go hang out with Tim and do ayahuasca. Like go somewhere that they know what they're doing. But really,
This Tim guy's a son of a bitch.
Friggin' Tim. So the thing I wanted to say that was super important about thinking about like these plant medicines that can heal people. You gotta. For anyone that's kind of like, whoa, this sounds kind of out there. Some people might be like, this is the best thing in the world. But like for the people that are like, what are these people talking about? AA, the Alcoholics Anonymous, can't even talk, was created by a gentleman who went on an LSD trip, who went from a raging alcoholic,
Sure.
did LSD,
Yep.
never touched alcohol again,
Right.
and then because of that LSD trip, he created AA.
Sure.
And so AA exists because of a psychedelic experience.
Sure.
And this is documented. You can look it up. You can read it. And it's like, if you're demonizing alcohol and drugs as a blanket statement, but then you look at a plant medicine and say that's a drug. Well, why did someone who just created a lot of cures for alcohol use a plant medicine to help cure alcoholism in some people? So it's like it's one of those things where it's like there's some efficacy there, but it has to be done in the right set and setting, and it's not the same for everyone.
It is not,
Yeah.
and you can get in a situation when you're on these drugs that alter your mind forever.
You can go nuts
forever.
Yeah,
so
you can if you're not doing it the right way.
That's right. So,
Yeah.
and I've told you my story about psychedelics. I used it as a party drug in my early days, and I just had some really bad trips. And I would say to youth today, stay away from LSD and do the mushrooms and do the ayahuasca and do the things that
under
are,
the right
that are natural.
controls.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Don't go to Tim's house.
Yeah, Tim, that son of a bitch. But I went to Peru.
Hell yeah.
I went to Peru 3 months ago.
Awesome.
And I stayed for 10 days. I didn't do an ayahuasca trip. It was more of a historian trip for
Yeah.
me because I've been wanting to go to
Machu
Peru
Picchu?
forever. Yeah, I went everywhere.
Hell yeah, dude.
I went to
All in Taitambo? Did
We
you go-
we were me and my buddy went, and it was 10 days of move.
Yeah, you're just on the go.
Move.
Yeah.
So we landed in we got to Lima,
Yep.
stayed in Lima for a day. I hadn't planned out anything. Nothing. We landed there. I was like, we're not planning on anything, which could have been a mistake. But especially with Machu Picchu, because I thought you have to actually plan that out.
It's an intense hike too.
Well, I didn't hike it.
Yeah.
I didn't hike it. But you have to plan it out because you might not get tickets to it. It's
Yeah,
So
it's busy. Yeah,
so
it can be.
you have to get in lotteries. You have to do stuff to get it. Like they only allow like 2,000 people a day or something to get in there. It's not a lot.
When we went really quick in 2021, after everything just opened back up, we were 10 people on the mountain.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that nuts? There was like little llamas or alpacas. I got videos I'll send you jumping around. It was nuts. But usually there's thousands of people there a day.
So, yeah, there are, and they do it in I think three shifts or whatever, and then there's 3 tiers. You can only go to 1 tier at a time.
Yeah.
So we get in a car, and I'm like, we're gonna go to Nazca first, right? So we rented a car. I rented a very nice Yukon, brand new Yukon.
Okay.
So I looked way out of
Completely
place.
out of place.
Way out of place. But I did not get stopped the whole time.
Okay.
And people were getting stopped and they were just letting me go because they
Really?
assumed I was a wealthy
Yeah.
Peruvian or I was a tourist and they didn't want a part of it.
Right.
So because I was going through stop things and they were just like going through.
Letting
So
you
it
go.
was, but it was. So we went to the Oasis on the way down there. That was like 4 hours, and then it's another hour and a half to Nazca. I got in a plane, went over the Nazca lines, looked at all that, and then the funny part about the plane is they give you these throw up bags, right? And I've flown a lot, right? I've flown a lot, right? I mean, I've flown in small planes too.
Yeah.
So I think as I'm getting older, my stomach's getting weaker because I've gotten seasick twice in the last like 5
So
years.
it's not agreeing with you like it used to. Like
No,
yeah.
I never got seasick till about a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, and I can tell you, don't drink and you won't get seasick a lot as much for sure. So, but I didn't. But this time I was like, I was fine, but it was so hot in that plane, and there was 6 of us.
It's just uncomfortable. Was it a little puddle jumper? Like it was
It was a 6-seater,
like a Cessna. You're feeling a lot of the atmosphere, like you're bumping.
Yeah. There was 8 people with including the pilot and the co-pilot, right?
Yeah, co-pilot.
And well, that was the person that would talk about the stuff. It was not
like
only the co-pilot; they would talk about it. So it was me and the guy in the front, and then two mom and daughter, and then 2 other girls in the back, right? So I'm looking at the thing, and I've got this little bitty hole for the wind to get it in my face, which because it was so hot, I was like, and I'm getting a little bit woozy, but I'm fine, right? And the guy beside me is fine too, and it's cool, right?
Someone got sick.
So we go, but here's what happened, because it's so loud. It was so loud, but when she wasn't talking in your ear, you couldn't hear because of the propellers.
Right.
So you couldn't hear anything. Anyways, thank God, because I'm one that I won't get sick, but if I see you throw up,
or smell it, see it, hear it.
Yes. So
there was a movie back in the 80s, and it was like they called this kid Lardass, and he was eating like a blueberry pie. It might have been Stand By Me.
It is Stand By Me.
Yeah.
And
he's like, he eats so much in that movie. Sorry, spoiler for the 80s movies, but he ends up throwing up, and then everyone chain reaction. He starts fucking puking, and it's disgusting.
Yeah. Lots of famous people in that movie.
Yeah. Oh, so many. Yeah.
River Phoenix.
Yeah.
Jerry O'Connell was the fat one.
Yeah, dude, it's but anyway, sorry.
Corey Feldman. There's lots of
it was a coming of age movie.
Yeah. Kiefer Sutherland was in it.
Kiefer Sutherland, that's a good one.
Yeah. So we do the whole trip, then we land, and when I get out, because I get out first, because I'm the one at the door, and they have to come over me to get out. Their bags are full of puke.
Oh, no.
And I lost it right when I saw their throw up. Oh, yes. I ran to the bushes and threw up just because I saw their throw up. Yeah. The damn plane was down. The girl, the lady comes over and is like, "You okay? You didn't throw up in there?" It's like, because I saw their throw up.
It's like the yawns, right? Like you see someone yawn sometimes, and there's something that happens in your mind, that whether they're taking your air or just a reaction. You yawn too when you see someone yawn. It's the same thing, I feel like, for throw up, but it's just got that nasty smell. It's just
Yawns are also interspecies.
Are they?
If a dog yawns, humans yawn.
I noticed. Okay, so my dogs, I have a few of them, 3 of them. They are yawny creatures, man. Not to go down a road of yawns because we don't put people to sleep, but like they are very energetic.
No pun intended.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they do mimic. Yeah.
So, but humans will yawn when dogs yawn.
Yeah. True.
So anyway, we did that, and then we drove the 6.5 hours back to Lima. Got on a plane. And went to Machu Picchu.
Oh, hell yeah!
And so I stayed.
Did you stop? Did you take the train to Machu Picchu? There's like a train.
I went. So everything was so lucky. Like I got there, and the friend that was just like, I don't want to get in the plane and fly over Nazca. So I did that by myself. And I asked the hotel concierge person. I was like, "Hey, I want to fly." He was like, "You have to get that in advance or whatever." I was like, "Call." I said, "Call the guy and see if there's one spot." Call the guy. He goes, "He'll be here in 20 minutes."
How about that? Yeah.
I got there. Got on a plane 15 minutes later and was back. I was back at the hotel within an hour and 20 minutes.
That's really cool.
It was real cool.
Yeah.
So we go to Cusco. We fly into Cusco.
That's where the Sacred Valley is.
Yep.
And that's where I did a lot of my journeys.
Yeah, Sacsayhuamama or Sacsayhuamama.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'm not saying it right.
No.
With the stone walls.
Well, we were in the Sacred Valley, had like the Temple of the Moon, the Temple of San Pedro. We were at the foothills of the Sacred Valley.
Yeah, I've been to. I went to it.
Beautiful place.
I went to it. I went to all of it. But I go. So, and my friend flew back like a couple days earlier than me to things. He wasn't feeling it.
So from Cusco, you went to Machu Picchu?
So I go up there and I say, and I didn't know. I thought you could just walk into Machu Picchu. I thought you could just buy a ticket. And the concierge person, I got the guy to come. And the lady was like, "Not possible. You have to wait here 3 days or 4 days or whatever to go." And I looked at her, I was like, "Hey, can you get the top dog to come here?" And she said, "Yeah, he'll be here in like 20 minutes." So I go, he comes in there, and he was like, "Look, it's not possible." And I go, "Anything is possible, sir." tell me how much I owe you. I said, tell me how much I owe you. And he goes, hold on one second. He goes
That's
back.
so funny.
This is the wildest fucking ride ever. So he comes back. He's like, go get your shit in your hotel room. You have to spend one night in Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
He goes, there's no, you have to get in fucking line tonight. We'll get in line for you and wait. So I paid triple, which I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was there to do it. He said, get in the fucking car. We drive from, because yes, you can take a train from Cusco,
which is beautiful, by the way.
Yes,
we did that.
So to Machu Picchu, but I couldn't because
you were on a time crunch.
I had to go.
You couldn't lollygag.
Dude, this guy, and you've seen the roads there.
Oh, they're bumpy, holy. There's
this guy was
craters
going 90 miles an hour
and like
from
a small,
Cusco,
probably
an
little
hour
car.
and a half, an hour and a half. Yeah,
That's
an hour and a
insane.
half. It's like a Kia, buddy, just kicking it. And me and Josh were laughing so hard
That's so funny.
we get there. The guy grabs our bags, we grab our bags, and he starts running to the train. We get on. It was almost like throw your bags on the train and jump.
Yep.
We literally go into the thing, and a minute later the train takes off, and we were 30 minutes late.
Damn,
so it's
dude.
all. So we
Yeah.
get to Machu Picchu, we get in the line to just see if we can get a ticket.
Yeah.
We get that. Go back 7:00 at night. We get our ticket.
Damn.
We're 9:30 in the morning. We go up there. The whole
Took the
thing was
bus
perfect.
up to the top, like pretty much
Yep.
close, and then
Well,
we have to walk. You didn't walk to like when the bus takes you, like drops you off. At least when I went, there's another climb that gets you up to like where the ancient ruins are and all that stuff. Did you go all the way up to like where the ancient ruins
because
were? No,
because when we went, yours was probably different because there was so little people there.
there was no one.
And they
Including
let
security, there was like 20
they probably
people
let
there.
y'all do stuff
Yeah.
more than we did.
Well, we actually were screwed because there was no one there, and it was you had to wear your mask and you had to take pictures at certain places, and you couldn't do it. It was actually kind of restrictive because they were trying to come back from COVID. They didn't know the rules. Like it was really, but stunning.
Right.
No one up there.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So they have there's 3 levels, and you only get to go to one of those levels at a
understood.
time. So you can go back the next day, but you still have to get in a lottery for that
Interesting.
that level.
Okay, that sucks.
It does. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't suck because I'm gonna go back 3 more times because I'm gonna see it again.
True.
So. No, it was stunning.
It is stunning.
It was insane, and
it's the city in the clouds.
The difference between the Peruvian people and the Egyptian people is clear. Okay,
That's in terms of their technology.
No. No, I'm talking about modern Egyptians and modern Peruvian people, not Incans, not old Egyptians.
Yeah.
I'm talking about 2025.
Okay, what's the difference?
Here's the difference. Everybody in Peru will tell you the Incans probably didn't make this. If you go to Egypt, they're like, we made this.
Yeah.
And I'm
exactly.
You're full of shit. You didn't make it. You know what I mean? So that is the big
is
difference.
pretty funny.
And when you went to Peru, they probably told you, we probably didn't make this.
Yeah.
The Incans were around for 150 years. It's impossible to build all that shit in 150 years.
No, it's wild. But
They also said if they did LiDAR on that, there's probably like 15 or 20 more Machu Picchu's.
I agree. There's so many things,
buried.
ruins and temples that are being found to this day that we still don't know about. And it's interesting because a lot of these places, and you probably know this, but speaking about pyramids, the most pyramids in the world are in Mexico. But when you go to these pyramids, most of them have water underneath them, almost the size of the pyramid, because it creates a frequency. And then a lot of the, if you go into a pyramid, there's a frequency that's playing. It could be a healing frequency. It could be a frequency of love. It could be a God frequency, but it's specifically tuned to a specific frequency. So think about I couldn't build that shit today. And you think about these people, regardless of who built it back in the day, thousands of years ago, whatever it was, for them to be able to think these things, they were tapped into some sort of knowledge that only you're given in certain aspects, and you have these sacred sites that are built for certain reasons.
Sure.
And it leaves a lot of doors open of why and who and what was the intention, and it was just I love going to ancient sites.
Well, it's a different time. Their mind wasn't as busy, so they could focus on things easier.
It was their whole life.
It was easier to do that because it wasn't so busy. That's what I believe. I mean, you could see the whole sky.
But think about it.
everywhere in
No
the world,
internet
right?
back
You could
then.
see all the stars. You could see all the stars everywhere in the world. There's only a few places on Earth
Everything's
now.
built so perfectly in terms of measurement, and there's certain things about some of these pyramids that leave people baffled. Some of the best engineers to this day. It's like there's something bigger going on at play than just people slapping together bricks and saying, "Look at this!" It's powerful.
Now, you said that the most pyramids were in Mexico, but they think that more than
As of right now,
they think more than likely that the Amazon has way more than anything, but it's all covered.
The Amazon has everything.
That it's all covered in foliage and things. So you're not. It will be until the LiDAR gets right, and they know exactly. There could be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
I hope I live to see all all the wild shit that's coming down the road, because there's a lot of it's already
well,
happening now.
My next trip. So you live and learn, right?
Yep.
I
hope so.
I will go. No. I want to live and learn. So I'm gonna do Peru, and I'm gonna go to Lima, and get directly on a plane to Cusco.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
I've done Nazca, and that's cool, but there's not much there besides the Nazca lines, right? Lima's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just a big city,
Yep.
And we stayed in the really, really, really nice area of Lima. But it's just like going to Buckhead, To me, I'm like, I don't care.
It's another metropolis.
So I'll go directly to Cusco, and spend my whole time there, and go north and go to the rainforest.
I'd love that. That's beautiful.
It's not that far.
You should do it.
But the trip is like, I wanted to drive it. I wanted to drive from Lima to Cusco. It's only about 200 miles, but it takes 24 hours to get there.
Just the way the roadways are.
Right. The road. Yeah. No, I wanted to drive it in a car.
Yeah.
But it's too much. So I will, and I still want to do it.
Do it next time you go. Build in a day.
Yeah, but I gotta build in a day, a full day. More, because you got to bring the car back.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm excited about doing that again. I mean, you could live there forever and not discover everything.
That's the fun part. That's the adventurous side of it. Is you can go there, and there's so much, especially the rainforest, right? Like the rainforest is so beautiful with all the life, and they're still finding different species every day of different things, and some of the medicines that come out. And you think about, we go back to Big Pharma. A lot of Big Pharma gets their medicines from the rainforest,
sure.
and you get a lot of ancient traditions that get their medicines from the rainforest, and so it's a very powerful place for a reason.
Yeah,
and it draws people in for different reasons, but just for the adventure of it, the fun of it, and seeing some crazy, fun, cool stuff.
Yep,
it's great.
But it's cheap. Get your
cheap.
Once you get a plane flight over there,
Yep.
it's great.
Live like a king for a while.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was a lot of fun, and I'll certainly do it again. Probably soon.
Do it, man.
Probably soon.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to go with you and do an ayahuasca trip.
If you do, just prepare. We'll prepare.
So a guy told me. So I've never done ayahuasca, but a guy told me, and he seemed knowledgeable about it. He didn't seem full of shit, and this makes sense too. It does. So he said, have you ever thought about doing ayahuasca in like Hawaii first? And I go, why? Tell me why I would do that there instead of Peru. He goes, because just like any other fruit, vegetable thing that comes from the earth, the soil is what does it to you. So you have a way less intense trip in Hawaii off ayahuasca than you do in Peru.
Yeah.
And I was like, that makes sense. Yeah. Does it not?
It makes sense, but there's no guarantee of that.
No.
You're gonna have the most wild journey on like the smallest amount from anywhere, and it's wild.
But it does make sense. I was like, okay. He goes. It just, the soil is different in that, and it's true. Like you could take seeds of a tomato from Italy and plant them in Georgia. It's still gonna be a Georgia tomato because the soil is what gives it to
it's gonna have a different little it'll still be a tomato, but it'll have a little flair to it.
Different taste.
Red clay
like Vidalia onion.
Yeah, that's it.
I can't grow that anywhere except there.
I wouldn't take that to heart as just more of in jest, just joking. But
okay, well let me tell you the expert I heard this from. Okay,
yeah.
It was at a hotel bar in Savannah, at a gymnastics tournament for my kids. So you got to take a grain of salt.
Listen, everybody's experience counts. It's just, stack other experiences beyond that one.
Yeah.
To make an informed decision.
Sure, absolutely. I just thought it'd be interesting because I never thought about a lot of that.
Yeah, man. Ayahuasca is beautiful. I'll tell you though, your type of personality, the way that you operate, I would say the best thing for you to do, we can do it together. I'm starting to invite people to go down to Tulum. Now they have an international airport that's been opened. You can fly straight into Tulum. So like you save 2 hours of a car ride from Cancun.
My wife went to Tulum like a month and a half ago.
And we go sit in a teepee with my buddy who does this. And it's a company like Tyson's been there, Tony Robbins. I think I told you about this before, but basically you go in there and within like 35 to 40 minutes, you have the same experience you do on like an 8 to 12 hour ayahuasca journey.
And how much?
30 to 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same exact thing. It's just
that's better.
all at once.
Yeah. That's better for me.
Yeah, because
The intensity would get me, man.
for 8 to 12 hours, it's a long commitment, and you got to prepare weeks in advance.
Yeah, sure.
Cut out red meat, cut out alcohol, cut out sex, cut out like watching horror movies. Like you got to basically clean yourself, because if you don't, ayahuasca will fuck you up.
Right.
I've done this before with mushrooms too, where I wasn't respecting the mushroom, and the mushroom basically, I had like a death experience where I thought I was dying for 8 hours. And I thought nothing was real, like, and everything was made up in my mind. Like nothing was real, and it was like awful. Yep. Because I didn't respect it, and I didn't set the right, you have to, these things are very powerful. And this is what I'm trying to say is like, yes, they can cure things. Yes, they can help you in your life become a better person, do these different things. But if you don't do it the right way with the right intentions, it will fuck you up.
Right. And it makes it worse, not better.
Way worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Well, look, I really appreciate you coming. I'm going to definitely read the book. Is it on like Amazon?
Yeah.
It's on Amazon
if you go on Amazon, there's 3 formats. You got the paperback, you got the hardcover, you got the ebook. I'm going to record the audiobook here soon, but yeah, it's called From Heroine to Healer. It's my memoir, Spiritual Warrior's Memoir of Medicine, Miracles, and Meaning.
I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming, man. Me and you could sit here and talk for hours. I know we can. We've done it before.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to watch us for 3 hours. We figured that out.
We tried it.
No,
but it was fun.
There's not a lot of dead air, but people were like, "I'll listen to these goof asses for 3 hours."
Right? Hell yeah, brother. It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey, great to see you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Soup sandwich. Burn the ship.
Sandwich.